When it comes to growing a business, everyone talks about sales, marketing, lead generation, and so on. But there is another side of it as well. You need to have proper infrastructures and teams in place in order for you to scale up to the next level. So in this video, I'm going to talk about 3 key stages that most businesses get stuck and how to overcome these operational breaking points. My name is Vahab and I started Concilium Dynamics to help founders and executives optimize their operational efficiencies and execute their vision without chaos. As a former chief operating officer, I helped scale a company to 8 figures and managed over 200 people. And at the same time, I built systems that actually work. So in my videos and newsletters, I try to share lessons that I learned the hard way so you don't have to. So let's begin with the first stage. I call it the chaos stage. At this point, you hired 5 to 10 employees, but you are still wearing multiple hats. You're doing sales, marketing, customer support, and so on. Your communication style must be informal at this stage. And you're just having conversations, you're just giving them tasks, ask them to do this and do that, and people don't have proper specific job responsibilities. So this might create confusion and conflict inside your business, which is one of the breaking points that happens early on in every businesses. So here's how you can fix it. First of all, you need to create a specific job responsibilities and requirements for your every team member. They need to know exactly what they should do and how to do it, which goes to the second part of it, workflow. Start building standard operating procedures and workflow. Keep it simple. You don't need anything complicated because you're going to grow and you need to optimize it later on. But create some documents so every person inside the company know that exactly what they should do. Another thing that can help you, third thing, is going to be implementing some sort of task management system or project management system depending on your business. You can use Asana, Jira, Trello, or so on and so on. There are so many of them out there. But you want a system that can work so you can create a task and then delegate it to the other team members. Which leads to the fourth point, delegation. You are the center of every decision inside your company, which is gonna give you a headache. You need to work 24/7 and you don't want to do that for so long. You need to focus on things that move the needle. So at this stage, you need to start building that trust with every team member and try to delegate them, which we're going to go to the next stage and I'm going to explain the next breaking point that is going to happen to you. But that's the starting point. The second breaking point might happen when you reach around 25 to 30 employees. At this stage, hopefully you have your sales department, marketing, customer support, operations, and so on. Each department working with each other, and at the same time, there might be some disconnection between these departments. They might form their own silos, and you will see conflicts, miscommunication between departments. They're not aligned with each other, which eventually is gonna hurt your reputation and increase your customer dissatisfaction. Another thing that might happen over here is that your new hires, because you're hiring more and more people, they don't feel the same energy as your early recruits. So there's no more culture that all people are connected with each other and so on, which is quite natural. So you need to take a step back and build the proper infrastructure and fix all of these issues before you move to the next stage and scale up your business. So the first step that you need to do here is to create your mid-level leadership team. You need to spend some time, focus on the people who have the managerial and leadership abilities and try to coach them and align them with your company vision and mission, and give them all the tools so they can lead their own teams and align them together. Which, when it comes to the alignment, we go to the second point, which you need to create OKRs and KPIs for each department, which all of them should be aligned to your overall company goals. After that, you need to address cultural issues as well. So for the new hires, you need to create an onboarding process and a training system in place so they can be onboarded properly, and maybe you can create some sort of cultural handbook for them and pass it on so they can know what to expect in this company when they enter their new role. And lastly, set up weekly check-ins and leadership syncing. You want to be in constant communication with all of your team leads and leadership team in general and receive their feedback and implement them quickly. Now let's talk about the third breaking point. This is where disconnect happen, and I call it the disconnect stage. As you grow your company and you're hiring more people, let's say around 50 employees or more, you realize that you don't have that personal connection and bond that you used to have with each and every employee. You don't know their personal name and stories and so on. So there's going to be cultural disconnect, which leads to HR issues. So there's going to be complaints coming from your employees. Your customers' requests and feedback, they become more complex than ever before. You might hit with a lawsuit at this stage. So you need to think about how you can avoid them, or if you are at that stage, you need to fix them immediately. The good news is that you have more resources at your disposal, so you can use it to your advantage. First thing that you need to do is to build the HR and compliance team. You can build your own HR team, hire some HR managers inside your company, and develop that culture and work on that, because culture is going to be extremely important at this stage for you, more than ever before. Or if you don't have that budget, maybe you can outsource it for a fractional cost. But these should be your main priorities, HR and compliance, to make sure that you can avoid any potential issues, internal issues or external issues. Another thing that you need to do at this stage, to implement a feedback system inside your company. You want to receive a 360 feedback from every employee. You want to receive their work environment, how they perceive the company, are they aligned with the vision or the mission of the company, are they happy with their work environment, and so on. This is going to be extremely important because you want to bring everyone together and create an environment that all of them feel safe and they can grow. And lastly, at this stage, you want to give more decision-making power to your leadership team. You want to give them more responsibilities and hold them accountable for their decisions. You need to pull yourself out of the equation, and you shouldn't be at the center of every decision that has been made inside your company. As you grow, the culture fades inside your business. And by building systems and infrastructures that focuses and enforces the culture and the initial vision and mission that you have for your business, you can continue to scale up and grow it. So here is the recap. As you grow and scale up your business, you're going to face many operational issues and inefficiencies. But the good news is that you can fix all of them. The first stage, you can fix it with documentation and delegation. The second stage, you can fix it with building a good middle management layer and leadership, and of course, focusing on your team rituals. And for the third stage, you can fix it by formalizing your HR department, focusing on your company culture, and giving more depth to your leadership team. All of these breaking points are predictable. It's gonna happen sooner or later in your business, so you can address them all and you can get them fixed. And if you don't know how to do it, that's where I come in. If you got value out of this video, please give it a like, subscribe to my channel and to my newsletter, and drop me a comment and ask me any question about operational efficiencies and business growth, and I would be more than happy to answer them.